Hi, this is Mike Regan with TranzAct's 2-minute warning for the week of September 3rd. If you're concerned about rising freight costs, here are some things from our Perfect Storm webinar that you really need to know. Last week, we hosted the third in our Transportation Perfect Storm webinar series. We had close to 1,000 people signed up, and the feedback has been off the charts. Now, if you didn't get a chance to listen to the webinar, we've made it available for you over at TranzAct.com in our Perfect Storm Center. And the reason you need to download it and listen to it was because there were some key points that you need to be aware of. In fact, one of the challenges for me was to try and glean what are the top 3 things I could share with you in this week's 2-minute warning. Well, topic number 1 is that I don't really think shippers understand the extent to which technology has changed the trucking landscape. But when you hear somebody like Darren Hawkins, who's the CEO of YRCW, talk about how the use of ELDs and dimensionalizers has provided carriers with the wealth of real-time data, you'll understand how these carriers are using this data in their pricing decisions and even determining who they want to do business with in the future. Now, the second thing we covered with the shippers was that, to a certain extent, what people are really concerned about is what we call contractual integrity. One of the things that was highlighted was these shippers are negotiating with carriers 12-month agreements, and 30 days, 60 days, 90 days into the agreements, the carriers are coming back and saying, we need to change. Why do they need to change? Because there's a difference between what the carriers are actually seeing versus what was represented in the RFP. How do the carriers know this? Tying back to the first point. They have the real-time data. Now, one of the other things coming out of this webinar, though, was a question that each and every shipper needs to ask themselves. And that is my organization willing to invest the resources that we're going to need in order to level out this equation? Because if we're serious about controlling freight costs, there are some changes that we have to make. Now, if you're one of those organizations that's even considering making a change, I want to encourage you. Avoid the Lone Ranger syndrome. The thinking that we can do it on our own, we can manage. Well, maybe you can manage, but it's going to take you 6, 12, 18, 24 months to get things done. And that's why I like to remind people who are suffering from the Lone Ranger syndrome that the Lone Ranger had Tonto. And folks, that brings me to a wrap on this 2-minute warning. There's a wealth of things that we're doing to help companies control their freight costs, whether it's our rapid assessment or the wealth of information we've gleaned from negotiating billions of dollars worth of freight contract. We'd love to share this information with you and give you some ideas and strategies that you can use to reduce your freight cost. And if you're interested in learning more about those strategies or our rapid assessment, all you need to do is send us an email or give us a call. Because with each and every 2-minute warning, we're here to remind you we are on your team, we're here to help, and we're serious about seeing you be successful. Thanks for your time.